There it is. What's up, everybody? Yes, you fixed it. Stop messing with it. Hello, what's up? You didn't hear that.
This is so floody.
This
is so floody bar away.
This is Tipsy TrAinEr, and this is where we hang out with you and we have a drink, and it gets a little bit raunchy sometimes, so that's why we put the non-safe for work little thing. Only 18-year-olds plus. So
if you're 17 and a half.
If you're 17 and a half, it's fine. Depends. Go make sure you check with your parents.
Maybe.
So let us know if you're having a drink. And listen for this. Ooh.
Listen for this.
What you having? Can you please show us?
Caffeine-free Diet Coke.
Wow.
So
wild.
Exciting.
All right, so check this out. We have a few stories that we want to show you. And I have an educational one, and then one that will just make your heart swell, and then a random one.
Me too, kind of.
You have 3? I thought you forgot.
No, I'm on it. I
got
it. I had some saved. Maybe. My dog's going to die. 1 second. Get down.
Guys, if you can hear us, please let us know. Drop a comment and just be like, hey, I can hear you, because we're using a little thing here with the camera, and sometimes it's different. So, all right. So first, before we get into it, tell us a little bit about what you're modeling here for us.
This is my David Harbour pillow that was gifted to me for my birthday from Natalie. He's very handsome.
Very handsome.
Lives on our couch now. Just wanted to bring him in.
What's up, Heather? What's up, Jen? Welcome. You guys are like our diehards. You guys rock. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your day. How was your day? What'd you do?
So exciting news, guys. If you've been watching a while, 3 weeks, a month ago?
3 weeks ago in Tipsy TrAinEr,
we talked about animal rescue and how badly I want to do it. And we talked to one of our members, Genevieve, and she told me a bit about her experience, and I talked about wanting to do it and how I've always been too afraid to actually do it. So I think it was that night or the next night I sent out 2 applications. I sent out an application to foster kittens, and I sent out an application to the wildlife rescue that's in Arrington here on the island. And yeah, I heard back from both. We've been approved to foster cat or kittens. We're holding off on that for just a little bit, probably till Max starts school, but also,
or never.
So today,
you went to the other one, which is
I had an interview at the Wildlife Rescue Center, and I will start training to become an animal care volunteer next week. So that's really exciting. It's mostly birds. They have like ravens and owls and ducks and pigeons and hawks and eagles and all kinds of fun stuff. And they have other things too. But yeah, they take in rehabilitated. They actually have 3 bears as well. But I'll be predominantly working with birds for the beginning part. And yeah, I'm going to be helping feed them. I have to do some stuff that I'm a little nervous about, but I'm going to do it.
Listen, this is exciting because it's something that Katie has wanted to do forever.
My entire life.
And, they say happy wife, happy life. And I just don't want a miserable wife. Forget about a happy wife. So I've been pushing pretty hard on you for this.
Well, and it's just been something that I've been so scared to do, right? Because it's one of those things where like I've always been afraid to do it, because once I try, if I fail, I'm afraid to fail, or I'm afraid it won't work the way I want it, or whatever. And
it's super silly, right? Because not attempting it guarantees that you'll never succeed.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Whereas you trying, you have at least 50% chance.
But I think the reason I've never done it is because I'm always like, well, if I don't try, I never know, right? There's always that chance that something miraculous is going to happen. But it always, 1 second. What are you doing?
I wanted something for you.
Maxie, you got to go to bed, baby.
I'll come in right afterwards, okay, love?
She's been standing there going like...
yeah, so it's something that and you should have seen me when I was leaving today. Like I was, and I'm a volunteer. Like it's not a job. It's not like, what are like unless I'm like I'm gonna eat all the animals. There's no reason why I wouldn't. But for some reason, I was so nervous and so scared.
That's a good point. Jen says, Miguel, it's happy spouse, happy life. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
But that's exactly it, right? I'm responsible for my happiness, and I when I'm bored, I work. Like that's for you to imagine how much I love what I do. And so I wanted something like that for Katie because
and like I very much love what I do within Driven, but I don't do as much within Driven as I used to. I used to be very like because it was only me and Miguel, right? So I did a lot of the client one-on-one, and I taught most of the classes, and then after having my daughter, I stepped back a little bit, and now I get to do online correspondence with people, and I do teach Zumba 3 times a week, but it's not as much needed for me. I think I have one like half really busy day. So it kind of leaves a lot of time. And now with Max going back to school, I really, that's something that I'm really passionate about, and I'm really excited.
So guys, if you were waiting for a sign that you should go for something that is a little bit scary and that you're like, oh, well, what if I fail, blah, blah, you can do it. How long have you wanted to work with animals?
Literally my whole life.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up on a farm, so I did work, like I consider that working with that. Like I grew up around animals. I always have had multiple pets. And I realized that that's kind of what I was doing by like, at this point we now have fish, we have a mice, we have a hamster, we have reptiles, we have dogs. And I'm always like, whenever I see something, I'm like, I want to rescue that. Or Miguel and my dad always joke about me wanting to mother everything. And so I just was like, I need to stop collecting my own zoo, and I need to find another outlet.
Yes, please.
That will allow me to do what I want to do and care for animals and do all that fun stuff.
Lori, you just missed it. She is going to start volunteering to take care of animals, which has been a lifelong dream of Katie's.
At the wildlife rescue here on Vancouver Island, the one that's in Errington by Coombs. So so I'm excited. I mean, it's only going to be 1 day a week to start. I'm going to be training next week, and then it's going to be 1 day a week, and it's just in the mornings. But it does, give the opportunity for more, experiences within that
If
community.
no animals die in your care, chances are you'll be trusted with
I'm
bigger
not,
animals.
Like booting things out of the way. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's just
get this. They asked Katie to cut ducklings.
No, what? They're
open.
Quails. They're grown quails.
Same thing.
Yeah, they have to they were like, you have to prepare meat. And I'm like, well, I'm vegetarian and I don't cook or eat meat.
Jeanette, you were a big part of this.
Yeah.
She was like, Jeanette told me, and she messaged me.
I creeped all her pictures.
So
and so they're like, you need to be, he's like, you can't really be too, and I'm like, well, I can touch meat. I don't like to, but I can. And he's like, yeah, well, we get quails in, they're already dead, and you have to like completely clean them out.
What if a quail comes back to life? What if you're about to cut it and he like sits up?
Keep it forever. Anyway, so I told him, and I was like, I want to say that I'll be fine, but I'm like, it's been over 3 years since I've even touched raw meat. So I was like, I don't know. But I was like, the idea that I'm doing it for an animal and not for a human, as horrible as that sounds, makes it easier.
See? I always told you. I've told you several times.
They have to eat it. We don't.
Katie is an animal lover. I'm a human lover.
I just feel like so the way that he put it, because he said he's
so
been
wait.
for 10 years.
Would you cut open a duckling or whatever it is, quail to feed a hungry child?
If they had to, yeah, of course. But look at the way that he described it. He's like, yeah, I've been vegetarian for 10 years too. And he's like, the way I see it is these animals come into us and we help them, right? Like they are the ones that are living at the facility are ones that can never be set free. They can't fly. They don't have the proper beak. They can't hunt, whatever. They would die of starvation or whatever it may be. There's a blind raven there. He was born blind. I'm obsessed with him. His name's Dougal.
Does he have a cane?
I love him. Anyway, he's so sweet. That's the one that fell in love with me that I was telling you about. Anyway, and so he's like, in our job, like being their advocates and being their caretakers. Does this mean you're an animal?
Yes, that's exactly it.
He's like, it's our job to do that. And the only way we can take proper care of them is by providing their proper nutrition. And that's the best case nutrition for them is their all the internal organs and everything that's within a quail is whole food for them.
All right. So listen, can you please commit to showing up to next TipSy TrAinEr with a picture of an open quail
Ew,
and
no.
what? Why not?
I mean, I'm sure that's what I'll have to do when I train next week, but I'm not going to take a picture of that.
Why not?
Because it's
Show
disgusting.
us.
But I'll try to get pictures of me doing something or me with an animal. The poor guy's going to be training me and I'm going to be like, can you take pictures for TipSy TrAinEr?
All right, so let's get to it.
Wait. What did Lori say?
Lori
I did
says
the whole horse meat thing for tigers. You got this. Yeah. You know what? As
for
long as
tigers,
I
that's
just
cool.
don't like animals that I don't want to cut up an animal that looks like an animal, right? Like if it's already meat, but
Natalie, animals all the way versus humans.
yeah.
We love you
Love
too,
you guys.
Karen.
Aw.
All right, guys. So this is exciting. Katie, you need
Yeah,
to think of the meats as
exactly.
fuel for
And
animals.
that helped. That made me be like, I'm gonna try.
Right.
But he said that worst case scenario, if I absolutely can't do it, I couldn't do it if it was a mammal. I can maybe do I can clean a fish, and I think I can do it as long as it's not a baby or like a rabbit.
All right, guys. So check this out. This is going to be our very first article that I want to show you, and this is exciting because obviously something that, again, like I said, this is a bit of an informative one, a bit of an educational one, which we don't do often. So please tell me if you just want funny, weird things that we share in this one, because we can do that too, or if the odd educational one is okay. I just found this was interesting. So let's go here. So a study has found that metabolism does not, in fact, slow down in midlife as commonly believed. And this is something that, that we've been telling our clients often, right? Like, control the controllable. Don't worry about things that may or may not be out of your hands, and you'll see that you will get results. And the beautiful thing is that, they analyzed things, and I want to show you this. So 30s, 40s, 50s, right? That's where we normally hear, oh yeah, my metabolism is not the same that it used to be, blah, blah, blah. And what they found is that actually in those decades, that's when our metabolism was the most stable.
I was going to say, I feel like I was always under that was not something that I ever feel like I had on my radar. It was more.
Well, you were 26 when you started.
No, I mean as a trainer.
Oh,
like dealing with people, I was never like, oh, she's 45, her metabolism's different. Anything that I've thought about was more related to like hormones, like hormonal changes, right? Like as your estrogen level drop or raises, or as your testosterone level drops, like that happens as you age, and that would have more.
That definitely happens, but your hormones don't automatically cause you to gain the weight. There's a step in between. Your hormones affect your emotions. And if we don't have a proper vehicle to channel and to screen those emotions, it can lead to overeating.
As you get older, you do produce less testosterone.
100%.
Testosterone is a big part of muscle building. So as you're trying to lose weight and building muscle, it's going to be a much slower process for someone who's older.
100%. So if you start at 60 and you haven't done strength training, you've just been a cardio queen, yes, it will be a little more challenging. But the majority of our clients start between...
Not more challenging, slower.
Yeah.
I think there's a big difference there, because if you hear more challenging, you might be like, oh, but it's just a little slower.
But yeah,
I think that's what people connect. That's what people think, that it's their metabolism. Like I think that people are like, oh, it's my metabolism slowing down. But I think in reality, it's...
Yeah, but no. What I find is that most people that come to us have worked out. They are, they're not like, oh shit, I'm 42 and I have never worked out in my life. That's not the case. They're active. They're moving. They're go.
Yeah, maybe you didn't lift a barbell.
Right. Yeah. Maybe they weren't. I mean, I'm not saying they were bodybuildings, but you know what I mean? So anyways, I just thought that was good. It's like, hope. There's a study out there, not just a weird hairy Mexican saying it. So anyways, so that was my first one. So there's no question to go about it. But Katie, what's your first one?
I'll start with my educational one as well.
Oh,
so
shit.
This is something that I was very interested in, right? So this is something that I think about a lot. So I basically was like, humor, I love humor, right? We all know that I value humor very much and whatever. But what's so interesting to me is how different people find stuff funny, right? So for today, for example, Miguel shows me a video of some people falling and he's dying. I think the hardest I've ever seen Miguel.
No, come on.
He was laughing. I shouldn't say
I was
laughing.
I was definitely laughing.
But the hardest I've ever seen Miguel laugh, or whenever I see Miguel watching a video and he's laughing, it's always of people getting hurt.
Yeah, doing dumb shit.
People getting like smashed or hit or falling. Him and Alexi think it's so funny.
Yeah.
I hate it. I don't think it's funny. I've never like,
wait. I always go like this. Oh.
and then you laugh.
And
I
then
hate
when
it.
I know they're
all I can
okay,
think about,
then I laugh.
all I can think about is how much it hurt. I don't think it's funny. I don't like it. So that, but to me, so I'll watch videos of like people farting or like and I'll show Miguel and he'll be like, you're a child or you're insane. Like, and so it's so interesting to me that so many people can find different things humorous or funny. And you'll watch, like, I'll watch a movie and I'll be like, this is like, if you guys, I've talked about it before. There's a movie called What We Do in the Shadows. It's probably the funniest movie I've ever seen in my life. Miguel laughed, but he was like, it's so
I was
dumb.
like, it's so silly. But wait, I laughed my face off with the Three Stooges, and you're like, ugh.
I don't like
that is
physical
so
humor.
dumb.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, you're right.
So it's like, so I'm very curious about why, like, what is humor? Like, why do we laugh at stuff? Why is different stuff funny than us? So I was trying to find a different article, and I'll be honest with you guys, I don't think anybody knows. From what I've been reading, I don't know that anybody knows.
Okay.
So
like why different people find different things.
Psychologists, neuroscientists, and philosophers are trying to understand humor.
And trainers.
So researchers do not fully understand which aspects of a joke or situation make it seem funny. Various theories have poised.
Posited? Weird. I've never seen that
people
word.
find amusement in the misfortunes of others, in expressions of otherwise forbidden emotions, in just juxtaposition of incompatible concepts, and in realizing that certain expectations have been violated. One scheme weaves several hypotheses together and holds that humor results when a person is simultaneously recognizes both that a norm has been breached and the breach is benign. So then that something's happened, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So whenever I love those videos of people getting hurt, I love them. What, like, you know what show will have me like hurting, like where my face hurts? Wipeout. Oh,
I hate
my God, I love it. But I need to know they're okay. Like when they fall, my initial reaction is to honestly be like, oh my God. But then once I see they're fine, I'm like, you fucking idiot. I love it. I'm sorry.
They say laughter may have evolved as a way to enhance.
That's so weird.
What?
Me being like, you're an idiot.
It may have evolved as a way to enhance connectiveness in society.
Can I tell you about a time when I was the fucking idiot?
Oh my God.
So my brother and I used to. So when I moved to Canada, we lived in Montreal. Okay, freezing cold. Anyways, and we were extremely poor, so we lived in a garbage apartment, and we would have to take the subway to get to work, and then 2 buses. Anyways, the buses would get packed with people coming out of the subway, and so it's in the middle of winter, so it's icy, slippery. It's like you're going to wipe out in the winter, So, anyways, we get to our station. And the doors open, and I'm not kidding you. You would have to sprint up, like out the subway and up the stairs to make it to the line of the bus, so that you would not miss it, because it was freezing out there. Anyways, of course, guys. My brother and I, we have a plan, right? And as soon as the doors open, we're like, we're young, we can do this, and we start sprinting like hell. Oh man, of course. There's those little things. What do you call them? The chunk that you have to like push and walk through.
Yeah, a turntable thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I try to be super. So my brother's ahead of me. He like jumps on like one leg up, one leg down, and like perfectly passes through without touching. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm doing that. I was not doing that. My back leg gets hooked. And I come in front of everybody. So everybody's behind me, also running, and I just like. Boom, like a sack of potatoes in front of everyone. Just my pride, but as I was in the air on my way towards the floor, I was like, I'm a fucking idiot, and it was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, I don't know. I laugh at myself when I get hurt, but they say here. So the oldest theory of humor, which actually dates back to like Greek philosophers, is that people find humor in and laugh at the misfortunes of others because they feel superior. So,
But how is that compatible with you laughing at yourself when you fall?
Yeah, so I don't know. Like it's just weird. It's like that's the thing is they don't know, and like they're saying that like so the reason like that like if you watch a show, have you ever seen? I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Sometimes they'll show clips of a show, or like so for example, Friends. You watch Friends, there's the laugh track, right? Because they film it in front of an audience, so you hear people laugh. You ever notice in certain scenes when they're say outside, there's no laugh track. And you'll notice those scenes seem strange. They don't seem as funny. They're not as right. And so they say that, yeah, like the whole reason that they put that in there is it because it almost is subconsciously being like, this is funny, laugh at it.
Right.
And there's a sense of like community and a sense of like, you're laughing. The same way that like I'll show Miguel a video and I'll be crying from laughing so hard and he's laughing at me laughing.
Right.
He's not laughing at the video.
Yeah.
He'll be like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But you crying, laughing this hard is hilarious.
Yep.
Right? So
I did make the bus. We did make
they
that
waited
first
for
bus.
you? They weren't
No. I got up and I mean I was that was 2005, so I was a lot younger, so I had to I made it.
Lori makes a really good point here. She says, I've always thought that humor shocks us in our boundaries, but
Oh, Hitty hates that. Sorry.
But if it's too close to our moral code, it isn't funny. Does that make sense? Yeah, maybe girls are taught to nurture and care. Maybe, like so ladies in particular here, do you think physical humor like that is funny? Like people getting hurt, people getting knocked down, people like I used to love America's Funniest Home Videos, except for the parts where people will get hurt. Like I never have liked that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like do you guys think that's funny? And like I think the kind of funny I think is funny, like I think Napoleon Dynamite is funny. I think
Never watched it.
I think Will Ferrell is funny, but not when he's too much. I like him when he's like subtle. Like I don't know. I like his movies like I don't know. I guess like The Ballad of Ricky Bobby isn't subtle, but like What We Do in the Shadows is like what I like dry humor, and I like I don't even know, man.
No.
Yeah,
come
Lisa
on.
says
You laugh, you snort at crap like cornholio. Give me TP for my butthole or whatever.
I always think about like how people come up with shit, and then it makes me laugh even more. And like people are so clever. Like when I go on TikTok, one of my favorite parts of TikTok is the comments. Like one time they were showing. Remember, that's probably the hardest I've ever laughed at a TikTok. They were showing this guy cleans dentures for a living. And so he was just showing the process of cleaning a pair of dentures. And as I'm watching the video, it's normal, but he turns them in the back of the teeth there's like black stuff, like black and brown stuff all in crud, like in this. So he's cleaning it. And so I'm like, whatever, it's not a funny video. I open the comments and the first comment in all caps says, oh my God, did they eat caca? And I couldn't stop laughing. It was the funniest. I just caught me off guard.
She was crying.
And like stuff like that, like these comments, like there's another video of a dog. It was like a Chihuahua dog, and its eyes are so bugged out, right? And the video is just this dog. And then you click on the comments, and somebody in all caps goes, "Ayo, your dog's eyes are gonna pop out." And I couldn't stop. Like I was hysterical. It's the comments that make me laugh.
And to make it fair, like guys, in the comments, I don't love people getting hurt. I laugh at people getting like falling. I think falling is hilarious. That moment when you realize it's too late and you're like in the air. I've been there. I've acknowledged that moment. I've been like, fuck. And I've acknowledged it, and I'm like, yep, this is happening. There's nothing I can do to some. I think that is hilarious. And I make in my mind, I make the story of like what the dialogue is. And I find that hilarious.
So Lisa
but I
said
don't
no.
like people getting hurt.
Somebody else said, no, I don't like it. I always feel bad for the people. Lisa says, I hate others getting hurt. Jed says, excuse me, that is so Matt and I, we think different things. Can you bring me the rest of my Coke, please? Things are funny. I'm with Miguel as long as they're not hurt. Oh, so Jen thinks it's funny. Lori says, not hurt. I agree. I love physical comedy, but not like that. Jen Nev says, I don't laugh much at people getting hurt. But she loves cornholio and used to wear. Jen, were you here for the video where I'm wearing my cornholio photo? If you were not, let me know and I'll send you the picture. And just so you guys know, I'm really looking forward to it. I bought a new Beavis and Butthead shirt, and it is coming in the mail. I hope it comes soon. I call Africa, one of our cats, Kaka. Yeah, the word Kaka is hilarious. Okay, maybe I think find it funny after I found out they're not hurt. See, if
Yeah.
it's someone I know and they do something like that, I'll laugh. Like I think there's been times where Shauna or Release has fallen and that makes me laugh, or you, or like our kids. Oh yeah, I have a video of Max when she was doing, what was she doing? She was belly flopping. Oh my God, that was so funny. She was belly flopping we had her mattress on our floor. And then she rolled and smashed her face and she was fine. And I was sick in the video. I'm making the video, watching it's on video, and I'm laughing and I'm wheezing. Like it sounds like I'm
Because you knew she was
80-year-old smoker. Yeah,
she
was fine.
Yeah.
She sat up and was like,
yeah, of course. I don't like I saw a video of someone of like a couple of people falling from a balcony, and at first I was like, they can't be alive. Oh my God.
yeah, that's the video you showed me today.
I covered my face like this. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then when they get up and they're like, come on, man, why'd you do that? I don't know. Why'd you do that? And I'm like, okay. Whew.
Is that what they...
And then I find it funny. All right. So moving on. I've got a second story here for you guys. And this is a feel-good story. So let me share my screen.
To send that picture to Jenna quickly. It's very important that she sees me as Cornholio ASAP.
All right, so check this out. You're gonna want this. You're gonna want to see this.
Wait,
so,
can I right before you start? I'm sorry. I just want to say the Cornholio thing. Do you remember what happened when I was like telling you about it? And I was like, it's stupid. It's so stupid. I think I can't remember. It was before I got my shirt, and I was just like Cornholio, and I said something about it. I think I jokingly was like, I am Cornholio, and you were like, what is that? And I was like, you've never seen Beavis and Butthead? And you were like, no. And so I was like, oh, here, I'm just going to show you. It's so stupid, like not funny. But I showed you, and I was like, it was a super cut of every time he says, I am Cornholio or the great Cornholio. So I was like, watch this. And I cried laughing. And you were like looking at me.
I'm like, what?
They're so stupid. I remember watching with my mom one time because I used to put it on to make my mom mad because she hated it. And we were flipping through channels and it came on. And I was like, my mom was like, change it. And they were talking and he was like, it's a really good idea. Where'd it come from? And he was like, my wiener. And then me and my mom were both so mad that we laughed so hard because we were like, why is that funny? But it is.
I don't get it. Okay, so
wiener.
Let me share this with you guys. So
my son's laughing in the kitchen.
Yeah. All right, so check this out. A dog that's been missing for weeks walks into a Walmart and finds their owner working at the register. How amazing is that?
Our daughter is cackling in the other room.
Yeah, of course, because we didn't put her to sleep.
You're laughing because I said
my
wiener.
God. So yeah, imagine the doggy just walks in like
sweet baby angel.
He literally got lost and he's like, I'm gonna go look for my mom in here, and walks in, finds her mom. So my question to you is, because have you ever heard about the doggy heaven?
The Rainbow Bridge?
Yes.
Of course I have.
And they so tell us, please.
So the Rainbow Bridge is apparently the bridge that animals either cross or wait on for their owners once the animals pass before the owners.
Right. Alexia, can you close your sister's door, please?
And that's where you meet your pets at the Rainbow
But wait.
Bridge.
All your pets?
All the important ones, I guess.
Well, okay.
In
the Mexican bridge, because we're a little more, I don't know, budget conscious.
Bridge like Coco?
Listen, I don't know. This is in the Mexican.
So
bridge.
There's a Mexican version.
There's a Mexican version of the bridge. Well, don't worry about that. What you need to worry about is that we are a lot more budget conscious, and so there's only one dog that waits for you. There's only one. Okay. So it has to be.
No.
Wait.
I don't like yours.
Because it is only one.
Nope.
You have to. It's that with which you've created the strongest bond. That's it.
It's me.
So wait. Would you say, because right now you're how old?
35.
Okay, and how old is he?
He's almost 13.
So just if you were to say a number, how many more years do you think he has left?
I think he's going to be like 16.
Okay, so 3 more years? That's it?
Three and a half.
Yeah. Okay, so question. Obviously,
only because he has a heart condition.
Okay. Oh, not because you thought that maybe I would murder him in his sleep? Like, of course.
I mean, if he didn't have a heart condition, I think he'd live to be 20.
I see. Okay, question. So you're only going to be what, 38?
When he goes?
Mm-hmm. Approximately. And so you feel very confident that you will never, ever, ever have another doggy that you love that much, Not even this
well,
other
no,
one?
listen, I love them just as much. I love Penny just as much.
Not
I
even
love,
this one?
I love today's maybe Gotcha Day. We've had our 1 year today. No, it's not about love.
Well,
I love all my dogs.
listen, are you Mexican?
It's about
This is the Mexican
it's
bridge.
about the connection, and Finnegan
Yeah.
is my soulmate.
Okay. So yes. So the answer is yes.
But
It'll be him no matter what.
In the Canadian version, I get all my dogs. So I reject your Mexican version. And
So my question for you guys is,
Oh my God.
if you would only have one doggy waiting for you, would it be the doggy you have right now, or would it be a doggy that is already gone? Because I have a theory that everybody or most people will just choose a doggy that they have right now, because we get attached to. Well, that's my theory. Anyways, what do you think?
yeah, mine would be Finnegan because Finnegan's been
With
I don't
you,
want to talk about him too much. I'll cry. Yeah, he's been with me since I was 22 years old. And he's been with me through the most horrible times of my life. And he was with me when I was depressed. And he was with me when I was far away from my family and I had nobody else but him. He was with me. He was such a good boy during my pregnancy. He was such a good boy when we brought newborn Max. Like, he was kissing and cuddling Max when she was a day old and would lay by her. He's let her pull his ears. He's let her flop on her. He's raised 2 other puppies. He raised Penny. He raised Maybe. Like, he's licking my hand right now and it's making me emotional. I could not. And like the fact, like, people are always like, how is Finnegan so good? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just the fact that he's been with me for 12 and a half years. He is good. He just, like, we're in sync. Like, he knows me. He gets, like, he sleeps with me I can count probably the amount of times that he has not slept with me. He's just my.
All right, let's see for Jen. Sorry, the Rainbow Bridge makes me cry right now. Right, yeah, because of Asia.
And
I've had 5 dogs in my whole life. I think this is an personal theory. If it's one dog or all dogs, I can't picture 1 out of 5 or pick 1 out of 5 as they were all different. Yeah.
So that makes sense. I don't believe it's one. I think that you, like, that's, like, I'm not religious. I don't believe in, like, heaven and hell, but I believe in, like, energy and reincarnation and stuff. And I believe if you're a good person, you get reunited with the things that you are meant to be reunited with, the energy and the people and the animals. And I think that means you get to find, like, we had this conversation where we talked about, we think, because I'm so connected to Finnegan, that we think he was something to me in a past life. Because I just, like, we're like, he was like my brother or my father or maybe like a husband. Because he's like, I don't know, like, I feel very, like, and some people are going to be like, you're weird. But I know
I think you're weird.
I know there's people out there that feel the same way
Of
about
course we do. Listen, we as
I got
humans,
his fucking face on my body forever, and I'm getting another one from him.
I could choose to get, I don't know, anybody's face on me, and that doesn't necessarily mean it. I just think that it makes sense. It makes sense. We're humans. We have emotions. We get attached to things, and then we make stories that make us feel like. I get that. I've done that too. I have a doggy that I had when I was a kid, and he got stolen from us, and I'll never forget that. No, it was an Irish setter, and I loved him, and
I can name every single dog I've ever had, and every dog that I've had a connection with, and I know, like, there's dogs that weren't, like, I had an adoptive dog when I lived. My old landlord had a dog, and it used to come and visit me, and if I wasn't home, she'd come and bark at my door, and if I wasn't home, she'd dig a little hole in my garden. So it's like, I knew I was like, oh, lady was here.
She knew,
it was like her little calling card. Yeah.
All right, so what's your second one? Or
let's
third?
see. Wait, I want to see. Yeah, Natalie says I love Moose more than previous. Yeah, you know what? I love Moose quite a bit too.
Heather says I don't have animals now. Would be one gone. She was attached to me. She was my sheep guard dog. She knew what I needed. Yeah.
And Jen, Callie actually has all the best traits of my pups and crazy like my mom's cat Sam. That's perfect. Yeah, and Lisa said, yeah, my girl now, she saved me. Aw.
What's your next one?
Okay, my next one, this is my heartwarming one.
Okay.
It's actually about cats, which is funny. Let me pull it up here. So a study shows that most kittens actually see their owners as their parents. So they don't think this big naked thing is adopting me. It's like, that's my mom.
Why are you naked?
Because we don't have fur.
Oh, okay.
They see us as fur. So kittens display an attachment style similar to human babies as they see their human owners as a parent, a new study suggests. So they have a secure attachment style, which means they experience a reduced stress response when their owners return after leaving them in a room just during the interview.
So we're talking about a well-adjusted child, not just a child, because you could say that your dogs are also very attached to you, and they do exhibit a lot of stress when you're gone. So, so a cat is a well-adjusted child, whereas a doggy is a very dependent, or at least these doggies.
No, it's saying that they feel that you leave the room and then you come back, they feel better when you come back, is what it is.
Oh,
so yeah.
I read that.
Heard that they have a reduced stress response when you return to the room.
Oh, I see.
So they say that they feel stress when you leave, and then they feel better when you come back. So they
how's it different than dogs?
They look at. But I guess, I don't know, they don't say in the article compared to dogs, they just talk about the cats, but they say that kittens, when you adopt a kitten or you rescue a kitten, that they see you as, they don't see you as like, oh, my owner, they see you as their mom or dad. And I think that's so cute. And you know what's funny?
It must be the same with doggies.
Yeah, I think so. The article, the most of the article, that I just kind of shared with you. And then the last little bit of it, it's like, you have to register to read. And I was like, no, because I hate that shit, even if it's free. No.
Yeah, have you seen that? You find an article and you click to read it, and it lets you read like the first few lines, and then you keep scrolling and makes you like subscribe and pay. And
yeah, you see my dog licking me right now?
Yes.
So yeah, but anyway, I've read a few different things like that. Like it's not the same as imprinting though, like with ducks and stuff. It's literally that they just think like, okay, like that's my, like, I don't know. Right. I think that's so cute though, because it's the same thing that they say, like dogs and elephants get the same serotonin boost in their brain that humans get when we look at cute animals. So they literally look at us and think, oh, they're cute. Like elephants. Isn't that funny to think that an elephant sees a human being and goes, oh.
That makes sense.
Like they get that same rush.
Because we're tiny.
Yeah. Like I just think that's so cool. They see us as like an adorable little thing.
So get this. Jeanette says, my favorite thing that my dog Watson did, had to put him down at 16, was know how I was feeling before I did. Oh, there's got to be something about how doggies can tell.
Because their sense of smell is like a bazillion. So they can tell. Look at, there's dogs that literally are alert dogs for low blood pressure or low blood sugar, right? Diabetes. And they teach them how to, you can see videos. It's so interesting. They boop like really hard with their noses. There's a dog
crazy.
I follow on TikTok that goes and gets his owner juice when her blood sugars are low. So all of a sudden the dog just shows up with juice out of nowhere. He's a lab, and she'll just be reading, and all of a sudden she'll move her book and he's holding juice, and he will not let her do anything until she drinks her juice. So they can smell the differences of our hormones. So yeah, when we're feeling sad or we're feeling any sort of way, like the same way with my dogs, like when I'm having a day or I'm like today, maybe would not leave me alone because I was so anxious about my interview. She was stuck to me like glue, right? Should we tell them about what happened?
I knew you would bring that up.
So you guys decide.
Should I tell them what I experienced first?
I'm gonna explain my side. Because listen, and you know what? I'm not gonna hyperbole it.
Who noticed something wrong with her first?
So I get home from my workout on Friday night. The dog's fine. She's excited to see me. Whatever. Everything's fine.
Humans make stories in their head.
I go home. I go into the kitchen and I make my dinner, and I'm cooking my dinner. I made pasta. Whatever, make it all, go sit on the couch, and I'm eating my food. So I'm sitting on the couch like this. What?
Natalie, I believe.
I told Natalie, and she does exactly. And Natalie's very smart. So anyway, so I'm sitting on the couch like this, eating my food, and maybe like all of a sudden,
telling you what
not
you want
right
to hear.
Away. I'm almost done. Like I've been eating for a while. She starts running all over me and like running across me and like kind of crawling in between me and my bowl, and she's like going up, not on the back of the couch, on like my shoulders. So like I have to lean forward, and then and I finally get mad. So I'm like, stop. Like I thought she just couldn't get comfortable. So then she just starts like pressing like her head like into my side like this. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with my dog? So then I put my food down and I'm like, what? And she gets on my lap and she's pressing herself right up against me and shaking. And I'm like, what is it? And so I'm like petting her, and it's freaking me out because they say that dogs can sense like earthquakes, and like we've been talking about aliens a lot. So I go into the bedroom because Miguel's laying in the bed reading with Max, and I'm like, hey, my dog's being really weird. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah,
no. What did I say?
You were like, yeah, she was really missing you earlier.
I said she was weird earlier.
But she always is weird when I'm not there. Like she always misses me when I'm not there.
No, it was different. When you're not here, Yeah, she misses you, but if I pick her up or if Max picks her up and we snuggle her, she's fine. She's like, all right, cool. But this time she wasn't. She wanted to get out of the room where Max and I were hanging out and insisted in sitting at the top of the stairs waiting for you. She never does that.
Anyway.
Before Katie came home, before she cooked her dinner.
But she was fine when I got home, and when the first half of
Katie
eating my
was
dinner.
just too hungry to notice.
Anyway, so Miguel's like, give her to me. And so I give her to Miguel, and she always is thrilled out of her mind. She's a little tramp when her dad pets her. And she like fought to get away from him, comes back to me, and is visibly shaking at this
Didn't
point.
fight that hard.
Visibly shaking.
Why?
So I'm freaked out, and I'm like, shit's going down. Something's wrong. She's sick, whatever.
Katie's like, there's an earthquake coming.
Yeah.
Like, she's like,
so
ready.
anyway, I walk out of the room, and I'm
Gets
like,
under the
I
table.
go into the kitchen to like, and as soon as I step in the kitchen, I'm like, holy shit, it's so hot in here. And I turn, and the stove is on full blast, like red element, because I had been boiling water and I forgot to turn it off when I ate my food. So I go to like turn off the stove. I burn my arm on the fridge, which is right beside this. It's so hot that it burns me. So I like turn off the stove. I open the
danger.
door. I like open the door and start like waving the air like out or whatever. As soon as I do that, guess who's fine? Miss Maybe.
Get this though.
I go put Max
Katie does this every week, once a week, every week. She forgets and leaves the stove on.
No, not true at all. That is 1,000% false. I can count maybe 3 times my whole life I've done it. You're full of shit. Anyway,
The dog
do you
predicts.
think, and now I'm not dumb. I'm not like maybe it was like the element is on and this is wrong. I think she smelt something. She either was very triggered.
Before you came home, she knew that you would leave.
That at home had nothing to do with it. Either she was triggered by how hot the kitchen got or the smell of the fridge getting hot, like it released a chemical or something. But she knew something was weird.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? Do you think I'm reaching?
No, I agree. I think that before you came home, she was like, oh shit, today's the day in the week when my mom comes home really hungry because she teaches Zumba.
No, it wasn't. It was Friday night and I worked out.
Whatever.
I think that's why she missed me because I'm not normally gone Friday night.
She leaves the stove on and there's probably some tectonic movement in the no shit. I need to freak out 100%.
No. Natalie said that was really cute. That's why her cat Useless connected so much with me. By the way, me and Natalie's cat are best friends now. I think she won't save Miguel when he leaves. I agree. Karen's is totally true. Animals can definitely sense danger before we can. Yeah. My aunt's dog was barking in the middle of the night and they kept letting him out. And 2 hours later, a fire started in the couch. How did it start on the couch?
There was
that ass was
fire.
Too hot.
That ass.
I hope everybody was okay. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't think she was like this house fire is going to start. I have to say, my parents. She was like, something's wrong. I don't feel good about it. I want my mom to make me feel better. And she was seeking support, and she alerted us that something was wrong.
Okay. Awesome. We should like sell her for a lot of money.
Services. Stop.
All right, just kidding. All right, ready?
No.
Obviously, I'm the bad guy, right? When it comes to this, like, it's a lot nicer to think that she actually, and I hope so, because if that is true, then she will potentially save our lives one day. So it's in my best interest that it's true. I just like to.
I brought you a fruit by the foot, but I lost it.
You finished it, baby.
No, I ate one. There was 2.
Oh, why do you?
Because I was going to eat yours too, but then I can't.
Oh, I don't need a whole one. I just tried fruit by the foot today for the first time.
Yeah, Miguel never had a fruit by the foot. Or gushers.
In Mexico, we have fruit by the centimeter. All right, so
spicy.
Check this out. So I'm going to show you now, and at the last one, and this is.
I have one more after this.
Yeah.
Oh,
because I started, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, so get this, guys. A trash company finds $25,000 in a discarded freezer, tracks the owners, and returns the cash.
Good for them. I hope
Good
they got a little bit
for
of a
them.
reward.
Yeah, I hope so too. Anyways, that's really the most. That's the punchline right there. But so what I wanted to ask you is,
would you return it?
No, because everybody's gonna be like, yes, I would. The odd person, like, someone like me, would be like, what if I can turn those 25 into 50 and then I give him 25 and then I keep. Anyways, but everybody would say, yeah, of course I would. So I didn't want to ask that question. My question is, let's say you find 25K in a humongous garbage pile, but there is no way of tracking it to the person. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, this is you have to keep it. Okay, my question is, what's the very first thing you buy? And you can't pay debt. You can't
Just like frivolous.
you can't do the smart thing, pay your debt down. What is the first thing you buy?
See, I have two answers here.
Okay.
I have like the answer where I would like start my animal rescue.
For 25K. Okay.
Yeah, like I would begin the process.
They would be the only ones in the.
But then, like, if you're just talking like frivolous purchase,
Tell us in a comment, please. What's the first thing you do if you got 25K?
so, like, we should say like a selfish fun purchase. I'd probably.
Yeah, you can't pay debt.
This is nerdy. I'd buy a PS5.
You'd buy a PS5?
Yeah, because I have a PS4 and it's shit. It always fucks me up. We play a live game where you get hunted, and I'm always stalling, and it's always messes me up, and it's so annoying. And it's because
She lags and then she gets killed because of it.
It's so annoying. It makes me viciously angry. So I really want a PS5. So I don't. That doesn't happen.
Okay, great. Let's see what we got.
A new TV.
Christine would buy a brand new TV.
What's an
Lori,
Arpod
trailer.
Christine says homemade fruit leather is way better. Yeah, I don't have the patience. You have to cook it for like 4 hours or something if you don't have an air fryer or a dehydrator.
I don't know what I would buy.
Dog sensing seizures.
Oh, I know.
Diabetic reactions.
I know what I would buy. I would buy one of
Something
those
for your wife.
sweet ass recliner chairs that have like a
Barca
spot.
lounger.
Yes, like Joey's and Chandler's. Yeah, 100%.
Did you get me one too?
No.
I would. Yeah, that'd be cool.
With a spot for like your cold drinks, and another spot for your controllers that plugs into USB.
What do I look like?
Fuck. Like cornholio.
There's a movie where somebody has a wig on their head or like a mop on their head, and that's what
I would give it to my parents so they don't have to worry.
Aw.
No, Jen,
See, we're trying. We want the selfish
Jen,
answer.
come
Jen.
on, do the
If you
selfish
had
thing.
to.
If you
If
had
somebody
to,
was like, you can only have this money. You have to spend it right now on something
that's
just
right.
for you.
That's right, and it has to be
I don't know who holds a gun like that.
John Wick.
New ass couch.
Oh, there you go. She says, but if I have to keep it for selfish, I would start a business that we are planning. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Tell us what it is so that we can support you.
I would buy a portion of Disney
Small,
travel for
easily
the kiddos.
Towable,
Towable.
cute trip. Oh, towable, towable. Well,
Cute.
Okay,
I
that
like
makes
all
sense.
these. I'll take all these things.
I have an air fryer. Ooh.
I want an air fryer. My mom's.
I would
getting one
buy a portion of Disney travel
for kiddos.
for kiddos and I.
Like a stock, or like
Yeah. What's a portion?
a nice ass couch.
A
Yeah.
nice ass new
You have no
couch.
idea. How I have like.
Is
I have
Natalie's
folders.
cash also garbage like ours?
So no, I don't think
Can't
so.
be worse than ours.
No, because her couch is comfy and she just has a cover on it, so it doesn't look as bad as ours, and it's comfier than ours.
Actually, go to bed.
But it's, I guess, because it's got a cover on it, it might be ugly. I don't know. I've never seen it. I've only seen it with a cover on it.
I think it matters a lot more if it's comfortable. I don't care if
I
it's
agree.
green, like puke green. If it's
I
comfortable,
care about both. I care about both.
I
I
don't.
care more about it feeling good, but I want it to look nice too. I just know it's more expensive than 2,500. Oh, I see. She couldn't. I see.
Right. Yeah, that
It's
makes sense.
25,000, isn't it? Not
25,000, yeah.
25,000.
Yeah,
This
Genevieve,
is
you can
so
you
ugly.
can you can have a good trip. 25,000?
You get a few good trips out of that.
Yeah.
Maybe not Disney because they're expensive. but-
No. Come on. Like a Disney trip has to be. I mean, with kids, how many little ones you have, Jen? I think like so. If you have 2 kids and you go to Disney
I don't know.
with flights and
I've
everything,
never been. I've
it's
never
probably
been.
well. I don't either. But
I've never been to Disney. I've never been to
baby,
California
you had only
Adventure.
gone to the Okanagan when I met you.
Okanagan.
Okanagan.
Why did you get like a South Canada? No, what is that? Like a going down to the Okanagan. I was thinking like a Wisconsin.
I'd put in a lap pool.
I
Ooh,
want a pool.
yeah. But you know what, Karen? You got to get that
Universal
whole
Studios.
like current that takes you around. If you want to, you can just float and it.
If you guys want to see me cry, Miguel should just videotape taking me to Disneyland or Universal Studios or the Star Wars
sure,
land.
baby.
Star Wars land. Yeah, fucking right. I'm gonna be a mess the whole time. I'm gonna be like,
Yep.
That's an exact reenactment
Yep.
of what it would be like.
Yep.
All right,
All right, your last one.
back to the interesting stuff. So, as you guys know, I have to talk about this every single one until it's next year. She has been to Disney 9 times. Share the wealth.
I have to.
I have to bring them at least once. That's funny. Okay.
Let's see this. My ex and I spent over $8,000 at Disney, but we drove 17 days there and back, and I was living in Edmonton. That would be super fun to drive down
get,
and drive
rent an
back.
RV.
That would be the way. Yeah.
What's Busch Gardens in Florida?
Check it out.
I'll Google it. Okay. So I don't know if you guys know this about me, but like I kind of like Halloween, and I kind of like,
Christmas.
scary movies and this season, spooky season,
Mhm,
right? If you follow me on Facebook, you'll see a lot of
Mhm.
stuff. Anyway, so one of my greatest pains in life is that my son does not like scary movies and is not interested in any type of scary movie. He's always like, I don't want to see it if it's scary. I don't like gore.
He's
I
13,
don't
by the way.
Yeah. And I'm always like, let's watch this scary movie. Will you watch this one with me? I think, what have we got? He watched Jurassic Park, which is like probably the scariest movie he's seen.
And he's a giant.
What did he watch? No, we got him to watch Signs.
Signs.
Yeah, we got him to watch Signs, and he was like, that was a year or two ago.
Signs was scary for me
It's
too
scary
when
as
I
fuck.
watched it.
It's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my biggest fears. Anyway, so just recently, I'd say in the last couple weeks even,
Mhm.
I've been getting hints of interest in horror movies. And I think it's because of the game we play and that there's licensed killers. There's like the Ghostface from Scream, and there's,
Freddy Krueger,
Michael Myers. So I
Myers.
think that's kind of opening the door to these characters.
Mm.
So last night we spent probably 1 or 2 hours, a long time, probably an hour and a half, looking up some of my favorite scenes in horror movies and talking about some of the movies that I think are the freakiest and not necessarily the most gory or the most disturbing. Because if you guys know me, I don't like that. I don't want to see people tortured to death. I don't want to see animals get killed. I want to have a good time watching a scary movie.
You're too kind of heart for that.
I just don't think that's fucking interesting. Anyway, sorry. So I get really excited or upset. Anyway, so I wanted to know. So a couple people, I posted about this on Instagram where I was like, I've shown like see a couple videos, and a couple people were like, oh my God, what scenes were there? I want to know if they're the same scenes that I like. And I was like, shared mine, and they shared theirs. And I want to know. So if you guys don't like scary movie, you can tell me any movie scene. But what do you think is one of the best scary movie scenes? Try to be spoiler free if you can, just in case.
Screw it.
But what do you think is the best horror movie moments that you can think of?
Okay.
You personally, and don't be like, oh, The Exorcist, just because everybody knows it. Like, what do you think, in your experience, are some of the best?
One, to this day, I remember feeling the goosebumps, like when you're when you're The Others with Nicole Kidman.
Yes.
When you find out
that
they're dead. When you find out that they are the ghosts.
Come on,
that are.
spoiler alert.
Anyways,
at least give people a spoiler.
Oh man, it is so good. There's a really scary bit where an old lady and the camera's like shaking in front of her, and her eyes are like cloudy. I remember
What
feeling
movie is that?
The Others.
Where her eyes are
Yeah, baby.
when it's her little girl on the floor, and she's like, "Mommy,
Yeah.
it's me."
Oh,
Yeah,
goosebumps, yeah. So she walks into a room, and there's a little girl. She thinks
No,
it's
it's
her
an
daughter.
old lady.
She thinks it's her daughter sitting, wearing like a
No,
bride.
you're wrong. She can see that it's an old lady, but then when the old lady looks at her, it's her daughter's voice, and her daughter says,
Oh.
"Mommy, what are you doing?" And it's like an old woman with her
Oh.
daughter's voice.
Oh, it's so creepy.
Yeah, so I think some of the ones that I showed him the scene of Samara in the ring crawling out of the TV. I showed him the scene. Actually, I asked his permission. I didn't just throw it at him. I showed him, Max,
Go to bed.
you're on thin ice, young
Yeah.
lady.
I'm gonna Hulk out.
Take it and go, please. I can't tell this story with you here because you are a baby.
She's a 5-year-old giant baby. Okay, bye-bye.
I love you. Good night. The scene in Resident Evil where Pyramid Head like rips the girl's skin off. That's
What?
pretty gory, but they don't show
What?
too much. Do you not remember that?
I'm offended.
Shut up.
I'm offended.
But then there's also
Wait.
like classic. So The blonde.
Resident Evil, where Pyramid Head.
Oops, I'm sorry. You're right. Silent Hill. I'm so sorry. Silent Hill. I'm so sorry. I apologize. We all float down here. That's a really good one.
Yeah, that's that scene where he's like going like this, and his head moves really fast.
Man, when he bites the kid's arm off, when he's like sharks and bites off Georgie's arm.
Yeah.
Hi, Georgie.
That guy did so well in that.
Hi, Georgie.
Do it again. You're good. Look at that. You should like do your crazy hair.
The Netflix series Haunted Hill or Hill House. Yeah, it's the Haunting of Hill House. So the first season, so fucking good. When they're in the car and she's like,
Lord, yes.
Holy shit, made us all jump out of our
I won't forget that
pants.
moment. That was so good.
Yeah, blonde kids walking out of the cornfield. Fatal Attraction, Glenn Close in the bathtub. I've never watched Fatal Attraction.
You know which one I never really found scary? And I watched it again a couple years ago, 3 years ago. The one with Jack Nicholson.
The Shining.
The Shining.
The Shining, it's got its moments that are pretty freaky. Do you know what? Another movie that I love, horror movie, 13 Ghosts. That one is so good.
I don't remember that.
It's cheesy, but I think it's really good. Another one my friend actually mentioned is in 28, I think it's 28 weeks later. So not 28 days later, but the 28 weeks later at the end. So it's a spoiler alert. At the end, when that guy finds out his wife survived, that she's infected, but she's like just a carrier, and he kisses her and then he gets instantly infected and then he like gouges her eyes out. That's like the greatest scene ever. She's a horror like movie like pro.
Yeah.
And so, so there's quite a few that are, I don't know, like, but I like really like badass moments. So one of my favorite, it's not scary.
So you only like the cool things?
Kind of. Well, like, so wait, one of my favorite parts in a movie ever is in Alien 2 at the end. Again, spoiler alert. At the end.
It only came out 40 years ago.
So Aliens, the second Alien movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. And in it, Ripley, the main character, Sigourney Weaver, she has a little girl named Newt that she finds, and she's just like taking care of Newt. Newt's really cute and little. Anyway, obviously Newt is almost getting grabbed by the queen alien, the big xenomorph. Like she's trying to get Newt, and all of a sudden I can't remember what happens right before. I think you think like Ripley's out of it or whatever. But anyway, these big blast doors open, and then you hear like, and she comes out in this suit that's like
exosuit.
Yeah, it's like if a forklift was a suit, like they use it to move big boxes. So it's like if somebody turned a forklift into a suit. So she comes out and she goes, "Get away from her, you bitch!" And then she fights the alien in the suit. Oh my God. I stopped our workout the other night and made Natalie just watch that scene because it's so fucking badass. Like,
yeah,
so cool. Like I want to eventually long-term, so it's going to be a lot of money. So I have to save up. I want my whole, because if you guys know, I have my Princess Leia tattoo, right? Mm-hmm. I want to add all my favorite like female badasses, and I want Ripley, I want Ellie Sadler from Jurassic Park, and I want like badass Ripley on my leg. Anyway, but that part I just like gives me chills. I have goosebumps all up and down my arms. That's so badass. Mm-hmm. She kicks that alien's ass. And so like that's the kind of horror movie moments I really like too. Or again, big spoiler alert, at the end of Saw, when that motherfucker stands up and he's the fucking he's Jigsaw, and he's been in the middle of the fucking room the whole time. Like that shit is wild. Like I love that. Or like Shutter Island.
How do you like Saw? Saw is a little bit.
I only like the first Saw. I don't like the other ones. The second one is okay. All the rest of them are torture porn. I don't like them.
Oh my God.
But yeah, horror movies come out. A horror movie came out where the movie's in subtitle. Haunting of Hill House is legit. So listen, if you ever want a good horror movie, not a good horror movie, if you ever want horror movies that aren't disgusting or upsetting or horrifying, like I don't like I follow a bunch of people that recommend movies on TikTok, and they'll be like, these movies kept me up at night, or these movies made me feel awful afterwards. Like I don't want that. Like I don't want to see movies about children dying or like animals dying or awful like
torture,
dark, torturous. Like that to me isn't like rape. I don't think that's another genre in my opinion. I don't know what it's called, but it's something else. I want to watch Scream. I want to watch I Know You Did Last Summer. I want The Cabin in the Woods. Like, I want to have a good time. I want to fucking be like, shit, this is bizarre. Like, or I love this. Like, I want Halloween. Like, I want like old school movies that they weren't just fucked up. Like, they're just trying to, like, it's almost like because people are so desensitized nowadays.
That's exactly it.
That they are like, they have to be so horrifying to get a reaction.
Yeah, I mean, think of Saw. There's a reason why Saw became a franchise.
And worse.
Yeah, but think about it. The reason why they kept going is because the first one was sort of left field, and it was like, oh,
but it wasn't the gore behind it.
No,
it was the twist.
Yeah,
and it's like people are directors.
But wait, no, there's no director.
Wait, listen though. You got to be better writers to make better horror movies. You don't need to be more disgusting. You don't need to be more shock value. You need to be better writers.
So we need to watch Old.
Yo, I can't fucking wait. Come out. Get out of theaters. But yeah, that's it, man. That's the thing. I love all M. Night Shyamalan's movies because I love the writing. I think that they're clever. I think they have a good twist. I don't care if they're bizarre and left out of left field. This shit's wild. Like, everybody always shits on The Happening because that's literally like the tree. But when you really think about the concept,
you just ruined it for those.
I don't care. They know it. No, you find it out. You find out. I'm on a roll here. Like, that movie, you find out that it's the trees and the grass are releasing but it's like literally they're like, this is evolution. This is a defense mechanism that they have developed because we are clear cutting grass and we are clear cutting trees, and they've realized that we are damaging. And that's what it's true. Like, the thing is like, when you cut grass, that smell of fresh cut grass is a distress signal. That is grass sending a distress signal that shit's going down. Right? So that's the premise behind it, is literally like, imagine if evolution decided that trees needed a better defense mechanism against the people that were destroying it. Like, that's a fucking wild, amazing, incredible, intelligent, fucking unique story. And don't tell me that a movie where somebody gets skinned alive and flayed and poured horrible things and tortured,
your daughter is listening,
that's better than that. Like, I'm sorry. It's not. It is cheap and jump horror. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So the funny thing is, we are the ones saying, hey, put your kids to bed, blah, blah, blah. And our children are on. All right, guys, listen, you've had your fill of our craziness. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun. We'll plan something. You know what? Next week, we should like play charades or like shave an eyebrow or something.
I brought these out originally for us to race. You know how when me and Max did earlier, where you hang it and you try to see who can eat. That's what I wanted to do.
Comment below and tell us something like a game that we could play here that you'd like to watch.
Or like, I always think of stuff like, I always like seeing people like test things that I don't normally eat. Like when people try like the weird potato chip flavors.
We just got those super hot sauces.
Well, we could try a bunch of different hot sauces. Or like, I don't know. I've been like protein bars, but that's boring. But like, yeah, like what do you guys think? Or like gross pops, or like, you know, is there something?
Or those jelly beans that taste like.
I won't do that.
Don't be a baby.
I don't want to eat barf. What?
It's not actual barf.
It tastes like it. Why would I want to do
well, listen. That? If you write it, we will have to look at it. We'll have to go buy it because obviously this is for you. So, anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We love your faces. We'll see you again next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central.